Hey there, Michelle McPherson here with another challenge video for you on market leadership. Now in today's video, I'm going to show you two ways and two tools that you can use to start curating content in your marketplace every single day. Now it's only going to take you about 15 minutes every morning, but it's very important that you go through this process consistently so that you begin to be seen as a leader in your marketplace. Each and every morning, I go through the exact content curation workflow in Google Reader that I'm going to show you in this very video. So you've got to take time to do this in your marketplace too. And with the tools that I'm going to show you in this video, you're going to be able to do it very, very quickly. Now, before we get started, a quick note on who you are in your marketplace. For the sake of simplicity, it's really best to start out just being you. Now, if you later on decide to enter a marketplace, a new niche that's really diametrically opposed to or different than your original niche and they just don't mesh, at that point in time, you may want to consider creating a persona or a pseudonym and the associated Twitter accounts or Facebook fan pages for that new persona or pseudonym. But for now, it's really easiest to manage if you just have one account at each service where you're creating content for the niche that you've selected for the challenge. Now, the first tool that I want to show you in this video is Buffer. And it's at bufferapp, bufferapp.com. When you get to this page, you just fill out the sign-up form that you can see right here to create an account. It's pretty simple. And I've already done it, so of course I'm just going to log in to the service. Now, once you're logged in, you'll want to click on the link at the top that says Goodies. And you'll need to install the browser extension for Buffer. Pick whichever one, whether it's Chrome, Safari, Firefox, that matches the browser that you're using, and get it installed into your browser. Now once it's installed, for me on Chrome, it gives me a little buffer icon in the upper right hand corner of my browser, and it looks like this. So you should have something similar to that once you have the extension installed in your browser. So what Buffer does is it makes it easy to send out tweets in the future to Twitter, but it does it without all the headaches of actually going through the process of scheduling a tweet and finding a piece of content, say, that you want to curate, that you want to share, and then going, oh, should I send that out on Thursday, or should I send it out at noon or at 1? Because that's a barrier right there. It's something that makes you think. Well, with Buffer, you don't have to think. I'm going to show it to you in action in just a second, but to give you an example of why something like this is important, let's say that you do like we recommend here at the challenge, and you go through your curation workflow every morning for 15 minutes. And each morning you find, say, maybe 5 or so links or articles that you want to share with your Twitter followers. Now, if you tweeted those out all at once, you'd end up with 5 tweets within a very short amount of time and nothing much else to say for the rest of the day. It's really not realistic to think that all of your Twitter followers are on Twitter at the exact same time that you are every single day. And so they're going to miss those tweets that you sent out while you were doing your curation workflow. So what Buffer does is, at the settings screen that we're at right now, it lets you schedule several times per day that your tweets will go out. So this way you reach more of your fans and more of your followers because you're curating content throughout the day, but you still only have to go through that curation workflow once per day. You can adjust the times and the number of tweets that Buffer sends out per day via the settings that you see right here, so you can add a new time or change the days that things go out. And what's more, Buffer works directly from within your Google Reader. So let's go over to Google Reader and I'll show you exactly how to use Buffer once you've got it set up. So here I am in my Google Reader. I'm going to click on my marketing folder and find some great content to tweet out via Buffer to my Twitter account in the internet marketing niche. So here is a post about Google paying $500 million because they used AdWords ads for pharmaceuticals that were illegal here in the United States. So that's kind of relevant to my marketplace. And what's really cool about Buffer is that it allows you to actually comment on the article as you buffer or tweet it out. And this is super important because if you want to be known as a market leader, it's necessary that you not only say, here's an article link, but that you have something to say about it. So when you're in your Google Reader and you find an interesting piece of content that you want to share with your Twitter followers, then you go ahead and click the little buffer icon. And what will happen when you do that is that this screen will come up from Buffer. It's going to give the title of the blog post, and then it's going to give a link to the blog post. You can choose to either tweet that now, or you can add it to your buffer so that it goes out at those pre-configured times that we talked about earlier. So I am going to add my own comment on this as opposed to using the title, and depending on how many characters are left here, Twitter allows 140 characters, it may be that you want to continue to use the title that is part of the post and then add your own commentary at the beginning. And of course, this is Twitter, so the commentary isn't going to be super duper long. It's only got 140 characters, but you could say something to entice your audience to let them know why you think this is important. So I'm going to add my own quick commentary here. So I said this is a message not just for Google, but also for those involved in pharma affiliate marketing. It's a warning and then a link. Now, this is relevant to my audience. I've included my own commentary on it, why I think it's important, and now I can add it to my buffer. It says great, there it is. Now if we go on over to Buffer and we click on My Buffer, here's my post, and it's scheduled to go out at 4:03, which is the next time that I have in my settings that tweets should go out at. There it is, 4:03. Now, if I had additional things in my buffer, because 4:03 is the last time of day that I have mine set up to tweet, if I put another post in my buffer, it would then go out the next day at 7:05 a.m. and then at 12:30 p.m. and then at 4:03 p.m. the next day, and so on and so forth until we've got our buffer filled up. So that's how you use Buffer, and it's a really, really, really great tool for staying active in your marketplace every day, because let's say that you find a number of great links one day and then you're out of town the next day, or you just don't find anything good out there the next day. Well, your buffer, assuming that you filled it up with some good stuff, will continually be curating content for you, or sending out the content that you've curated for you. Being a market leader is about publishing consistently. So with this very quick workflow, you'll be able to do just that.